I'd like to start this edition of the regular talk with a funny story. It's quite funny when I think of it because this is one experience that my mom took pleasure in strolling me for. And so I got to a point in my life where I figured that, oh yes, I needed to know how to drive because I've come of age. I think I was about 21 at the time. And I just felt like, okay, at this age, at least it should not be said of me that I don't know how to drive. And so work deployed me to Ibadan at the time. And so I was able to enroll myself to a driving school. I learned how to drive. It was quite, the experience was quite great while learning how to drive, like finally being behind the wheels, getting on the road. And I had both theoretical and practical experience while I was in Ibadan for the period. I think the driving class was for a month, 4 weeks, if I remember correctly. So I learned how to drive, right? Then I was deployed back to Lagos. But all the while I was in Ibadan, I didn't own a car. But I just went to a driving school because I felt like I needed to learn how to drive. And so that ticked the box for me. But newsflash, when I got to Lagos, I couldn't even repack a vehicle. So I knew that there was no way I could, even ask my mom to give me a car keys because I was not even confident in the fact that I still remembered all of those things I learned when I went to driving school. And when I told my mom that, oh, mom, you could give me your car, I actually went to a driving school. Say, okay, Motigboe. So in Yoruba, Motigboe means, okay, I've heard you. Oh, you know how to drive a bit. Until I see you practicalize, I don't think I want to risk my car to let you put on the road. Then I said, you know what? Now that I'm in Lagos, I guess I'll just enroll to another driving school. Possibly mom will have the confidence to let me use her car if she knows that I attend the driving school and stuff. So I attended the second driving school and went through the process, but I still was not confident enough in driving. But at least what this did was that there was some level of proximity, so I could get a car, in no distance time, unlike the Ibadan experience. And sometimes if she wanted to yab me as to the fact that I had not started, driving the car so well, she would say, I learned how to drive in Ibadan and I am learning how to reverse in Lagos. So it sounds a lot funnier in Yoruba language, like Ibadan lo ti ko driving, Eko lo ti wa ko reverse. And so it was funny. I didn't like the fact that I'd expended money on 2 different driving schools and she still didn't have the confidence in me to release a car key. But long story short, 2 years later, it dawned on me that getting to know how to eventually put the vehicle on the road, because then I had a car and so I had no choice than to drive the car. And the reality check came as to, you know what, you can't keep going to driving school and ticking the box that you've gone to driving school. You need to actually start a car and get it on the road and get it to work, right? Beyond driving school accomplishment. And eventually, I started driving. It didn't happen instantly because I still lost some fear as to, can I move the car on my own? So I got a private driver who would sit beside me. So I had the primary knowledge from the driving schools I've attended, and so I just needed somebody to boost the confidence in me. And of course, my husband was not an excellent tutor that I wanted to teach me all the log of driving, because every mistake I made was a reason to shout me down, and I was not ready for the drama. So he even advised that if I wanted to get serious, I get a proper tutor who was going to put me through. And I think that was the best decision, because at least I was able to listen to him and He taught me the know-hows to the road. So long and short of what I'm saying is that there are certain things that we want to do in life, certain things that we desire, and we strongly want to have a go at it, but it seems like we're stuck. It seems like we can't get a hang of it because it's still looking high up there. It's not like we don't want it, but because we are afraid to start, and not just starting by having the theoretical knowledge, but starting by doing the actual thing, like getting the car on the road and getting it to move. And also, recall that I went to a driving school. I had the great intention, I had the knowledge base, but there was no car for me to practice. And so it meant that all of the knowledge that I had gathered was sort of a waste because there was no way to practicalize. And so this goes for the many things that we want to achieve in our lives, the many desires that we have. And it's just like my driving school's experience, whereby I had all of the knowledge, but there was no platform to experiment. And my charge for you is that for everything that you desire, seize and look for every opportunity to start. Now, when I say start, not just start by talking about it, not just start by watching videos. Look for any opportunity around you to start doing that thing, because you get better by starting. When you do that thing, like actually do it, then you are able to learn how not to do it or how to better improve on doing that thing that you strongly desire. And this goes for work, this goes for school, this goes for project or any pursuit you really have in life. Same also when I was going to start my MCing career. As a matter of fact, I had friends who had spoken to or who were in the event planning space, and I mentioned to them that I could MC, but I don't know, maybe because they took it for granted that we've been close, they didn't even pay me any attention, because they felt like, okay, they've not seen me do it, and so they really cannot trust me on their stage or on their platform. But no offense taken, because it was their choice to make. But it's also my choice to ensure that I put myself out there, I put in the work, and I learn the ropes, get experience, and become so good at what I do that when they want to hire my service, it's not coming as a friendship favor, but now they want to engage a professional. This also goes to my public relations practice. My background is in broadcasting. And so when I wanted to start out as a public relations professional, of course, I did some certifications as a background basis, but I got better on the job because I consistently worked at the same thing, developed myself, innovated new ways of doing my job in better creative ways. And today I can call myself a public relations expert, a public relations professional, because on the top of my head, I'm able to put down strategies. I'm able to consult for clients, but didn't just happen by happenstance. It didn't happen by me wishing that, oh, I could be better at this, so maybe let me read some books. But I put myself in that space of doing it. Then I also maximized volunteering positions, whereby maybe there's a church project, they need a PR professional. I put myself out there. So I'm able to master my art, learn from the experience, and ultimately be of value to the platform that I belong to, just because I needed to get this done. And so as you go into 2025, my counsel to you is that you should start. You should start, because you only get better by starting. Don't allow looking for the perfect situation, the perfect time, steal every opportunity that you have right now, to build your craft and to improve on that which you are able to do. Because it is only those that put themselves out, it is only those that start what they desire and what is important to them that we are able to celebrate later. And the truth of the matter is that nobody will give you a stage if they're not sure that you can do well or deliver on that task they want you to deliver on. So don't get entitled. Don't feel discouraged if people do not trust you to deliver. Just ensure that you start in one way or the other. And there are people who need you, no matter how rookie you think you are. It's just for you to look deeper, spread your tentacles wider, and look for those places where your craft to be valued. Work on it, deliver on those things. When you get feedback, improve on yourself, and you would eventually become the guru that you admire. Now in 2025, I can look back and say, yes, Tayo is a professional in this. Of course, judging by how people recommend my service to friends and families. And I can say that the Lord has helped me thus far to deliver on the different craft that I have as a master of ceremonies, as a public relations consultant, event manager, projects manager. There was even a point in time where I was making a comment to a senior colleague, and okay, I just had a conversation with a client who needed to get something done, and I was just expressing my frustration as to why were these people acting like this, that this is very simple, because I needed them to be clear on what they wanted, because I needed to execute a plan for them. And he said, don't think because you know how to do this, it automatically makes it simple for other people. That whatever it is you have is actually a major deficiency in other people. And so don't underestimate what you know, but ensure that when you step in to help them, they are getting the value of the professional they desire. And so that actually passed a very significant message, that these things that you started, these things that you worked on yourself to achieve this level, is what people need as the service that you render to them. And so never take for granted anything that you currently desire now. Ensure that you start, you work at it, you get feedback, improve on yourself. And you know how they say it, the sky is only the starting point. I hope you got value from this nugget I'm sharing. So if there is something you have on your mind and you have been contemplating if this is the right time